Hey everybody, welcome back to IndieChat with James Berberich. I'm your host, James Berberich, and I'm with guest SHARRIE McCain. How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. Thank you.
That's good to hear. So let's talk about what got you into filmmaking.
I went to West Virginia State University and I minored in film.
Uh-huh.
I took a couple of classes there and it was, I didn't really know if I was interested back then, so I'm just making some, student films. But after I graduated in 2013, I decided to take it more serious. It took me like maybe a good 3 to 4 films to take it even more serious to get on the business side of it. So now I'm very serious about filmmaking and making sure that every cast and crew is set when they come on my projects. Make sure the quality is good. So like everybody say, quality over quantity sometimes.
Right. Definitely a good thing to do. So now that it is kind of the quarantine happening and everything and the seriousness that goes along with that, so what are you working on right now and how's that affecting you?
Well, it's on and off. I mean, I'm making films, but I push some of them back because I want to make sure my actors are good to come on. So I'm also producing projects right now. Maybe like 3 or 4 of them right now. So we in pre-production stages, we in filming stages right now. As productions of my own, I'm not doing any until next year. And the reason why is I just took a mental break from my projects. My last project is in post-production and we just about to finish editing it. So this month we'll be finished editing. But as for my own projects, yeah, I'm just gonna build up what I need to do my next few projects and just focus on getting props, more props, even more equipment. Just take this not learn how to do projects back to back because sometimes it does take its toll. And I'm actually writing scripts to fit my budgets where I'm not writing over 20 actors no more. I'm just doing under 20.
Yeah, that's a good trick to learn. I learned that too as well. It's like you want to write these crazy scripts, but you can't really do what you can do at the moment is what I figured out. What makes it easier. Write what you can write.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I see you're busy though. I see you acting as well. I see you in a lot of projects. I see you playing a lot of cops, police officers, military. I've seen you in bigger TV shows as well.
Yeah, I love acting. Acting is number one for me, and then it's writing and producing. So it's people ask me to direct, but it's I direct can. It's not my strong suit. People say I'm a good director, but it's just something like the story has to really move me for me to really jump on as a director. And
Right.
I think most people as filmmakers, they assume like, oh well, you write the project, so you got to direct it. Not necessarily. You can definitely hire another director to tell your story.
Right. That's true. I've done that a couple of times now. It's like if there's like my babies that I really love, that I'm like, this is mine. But other things I like, this is still good. But here you go. You can have. I've done that with a couple of pilots we were trying to get a series going, and I'm actually co-writing one now. I can't tell you about it yet when the details come out. But yeah.
Hey, and nothing wrong with that. No, that's what I learned too. You keep it quiet until it's time to come out. I see so many people put like their titles online, and I say never do that because it's just like that's your baby, so you got to protect it. And
Right.
I'll always say once you copyright it, then you go ahead and do it. But right
Exactly.
now, just never say like, oh, well, I just finished the script and boom, here's my title. So you're
Right.
basically giving so many other filmmakers your title, but
Right.
they can rearrange your story.
True. Very true. Yeah, no, I do that too. I've written 17 feature films at this point, and I've copyrighted 7 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still 10 hiding that nobody gets to see until they're ready to come out. And
Yeah.
then, yeah.
And that's how I'm learned to be to keep things on the quiet until it's ready to come out. So I
Right.
only tell a few people what I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
and then, but yeah, just right now, I'm really just not doing any of my own. I'm just actually writing some scripts and getting ready to do my first feature.
Yeah.
So it's time to do a feature because I did so many short films, so I feel like I'm prepared to actually do a feature now, and I'm actually writing in my budget. The thing is, like a lot of people is like, oh, well, I got to write a $50,000 budget. You really don't. I mean, you can have straightforward features and less action and stuff, and still it could still land on Netflix. It could still land on HBO or something.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. If you can give the audience that emotional roller coaster that you can do it in one room. Plenty of movies have been filmed in one room. The first Saw was done in one room. The main focus, and then they have little bits here and there. But yeah, it can all be done. Paranormal Activity, one house. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
They did it. It was a $10,000 budget, and then it made them $100 million like 5 years later. So
Yeah, and that's what I like. I like about that. It's just like you can write in your budget now, and I seen other filmmakers laugh at other people that's like, oh, well, your budget's too low. No, that's actually playing it smart. Why
yeah,
would you have a $50,000 budget and your movie come out horrible and you have all these unnecessary actors a part of a story that is all over the place?
right. No, yeah, you gotta craft it. I've done bigger ones, and then they've done okay, but yeah, you can do a whole lot of good lower budget ones, and then just build up from there. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, what are your future plans of what? But I see that you're kind of waiting till next year to do your stuff. But what's like your bigger future plans? What was your ultimate goal?
One of my ultimate goals is definitely find a literary agent because I want to be able to have pitch meetings now.
Yeah,
And I want to get them on my projects on streaming platforms, not just Amazon Prime. I wanted or Netflix. Like Netflix, when it comes to independent films, you just pay the 1,500 and they don't even promote you for 2 years. Sometimes you rather just go ahead and sell it to them, and sometimes they may not even change nothing about your project. They may say, "Look, I like the project, but let's just go ahead and put it on our network." And
right,
they're taking a lot of projects now. But with Amazon, I see a lot of independent artists doing that too. I always tell them that's a good plan too, but also watch and make sure you get your money back down the line because they have like certain hidden rules where you may not see most of your money coming back for Amazon. So it's just
right.
all about shopping into the right place where it needs to be.
For sure. Yeah, I've actually just jumped into doing the Amazon thing, and I was reading through how it works and everything. I'm like, okay, that's how it works. All right. So I was like, with this project, I'll let this one go through that way. See how it plays
Yeah,
out.
everybody keep asking me about where my next project is going. I said I don't know. Like we just about to finish it, so now I'm going to market it and stuff. But it would be not. You have a lot of networks that even take short films right now, and
Yeah.
and I didn't. When I wrote the script, it was only 18 minutes, but then when we finished editing it, it was 30 something minutes, and that's what you add in B-roll, add in so much in there. It's just
Right.
the scenes for this longer, but it's just the fact that somebody suggested Amazon. I was like, I would like it to go to Amazon, but you got to read more into it first. It's a lot of holes, a lot of holes. Not saying Amazon bad, it's just a lot of
Right.
holes.
Yeah, and it's a lot of you self-promoting it, which is the thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
You got to push the traffic. That's
yeah,
what I
and that's
found. So I'm like, go, look. That's what I'm telling people to do.
yeah. They, like you just can't promote it one time. That's the same thing with Netflix. Independent films, you promote it one time, and they just you know, okay, we're gonna back shelf it. But if they buy it from you, they're promoting it themselves.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm kind of looking at next is just outright sell something to one of the bigger studios. Yeah.
So that's my goal for the next few years. Literary agent and is pushing my projects to bigger platforms.
Mm-hmm.
And I was telling somebody, look, I love YouTube. It's just YouTube. Sometimes it's just you got to also do self promotion, and
You do.
self promotion is good. And I was having a chat with one of my filmmaker friends, and I was telling them, I was like, yes, a lot of people are telling you to rent their films on Amazon and stuff. I said, but most of us, you can just put it on there and they can watch it for free with their account.
Right.
You know, I said they still watching. I said it doesn't have to do with you making your project free. It's just the fact that where do you want to really go? Because if you bring a celebrity on your project, they were saying like, okay, it's going to YouTube. So then it's like when you go pitch yourself to these bigger platforms and you sit in these pitch meetings with producers and, you know, bigger people, it's like the first thing they're gonna ask you is, okay, so where have most of your films go?
Right.
If you say YouTube, they were like, yeah, you're not ready.
No.
You're not ready.
You gotta have distribution. Is what they yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm doing now. I'm seeing where the marketing, and I'm listening to my team and myself for the first time. At the end, it's gonna go down to my decision.
Right.
But it's hard to listen to other filmmakers when it comes to your own project, because that project that they did make went to YouTube, but you want to push yours a little bit more.
Right.
You know, some people have features on YouTube, and that's nothing wrong. It's just they made this bid for that project.
Right. Yeah, you kind of, where you want it to go is up to you ultimately. Like if you want to sell it, or if you want to just get 1 million views possibly through YouTube, it's whatever you want to do with it. Yeah, whatever you're comfortable with, as I would suggest, yeah. And once you get those accolades and things like that, awards and stuff, then it's kind of easier to pitch to like a bigger studio. They're like, oh, okay, somebody's got something going.
Yeah, and that's what I was telling somebody. You know, it's not about the awards, but you have to be able to show these producers like, okay, you are award winning or award nominated. They don't care where it's from. It's as long as the project,
right? Yeah,
is when it's something or nominated for something, because they need to be able to trust you and be able to pitch it to bigger networks and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of like you just got to learn the process and speak the lingo, and once they kind of like feel they know you're comfortable, you're saying the right things, and then it evolves. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna get into the portion of the show where I like to call the top three here. So you can tell me what your 3 favorite movies are, starting off here.
Okay, so my 3 favorite movies, one is definitely You Got Mail. I just like how the setup is, and I love Tom Hanks. He's definitely my favorite male actor. Another one would be, oh, that's kind of tough. Movies, definitely movies. I definitely like what's the one? I like any Batman. Batman. I can't even tie. It's just especially with Michael Keaton.
Oh, Mike. Okay, yeah.
And my last one is what's the one that just came out? Is it The Watch Guard? I think it's The Watch Guard. It came out on Netflix.
Oh, yeah, The Old Guard.
Yeah, I actually like that film. So
yeah, it's a good film.
I don't watch movies that's why it's hard for me to really think of. So I only have specific movies where I just watch like if my favorite actor or something in it. But I used to be a movie fanatic, but when I discovered TV, I was like, off the back, I love TV shows.
Right.
But yeah, The Old Guard is just, that's a movie for the first time in a long time that I watch. I could say I could watch twice.
Yeah, it's a good one. I watched it as soon as it first came out. I was like, where did this come from? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I can really see myself watching it again.
Yeah, gotcha. All right, so who are your 3 favorite actors then, or actresses?
Males, Tom Hanks, Morris Chestnut, and I like Will Smith. Yeah. And I like all 3 of them because they really put their all into their projects, or sometimes they may play it safe with it. Sometimes it's like well, I'm gonna really push myself to do it. It's like they all three of them like surprise you. Like
Right.
it's never a role they play where it's just like black.
Yeah. No. You know who they
Um,
are. Yeah, they've been
yeah,
around.
yeah. As for females, I know Tamala Jones my favorite actress, and then I have Tia Mowry, and I love Christina Applegate.
Okay.
Again,
Okay.
all three of them, it's just, they mix between comedy, but then when you give them a drama, it's like
Yeah,
they really could take it there.
that's very true. All right, and then final thing, what are three things you would recommend to upcoming filmmaker to what they should know trying to get into the business?
One, always listen to yourself at the end of the day. You always take advice, but it's going to go down to your decision and only your decision on each project. Never let somebody overstep you. It's just your decision. You don't want too many ears, or you don't want too many people making suggestions. It's going to go down to your decision. And that's advice that I still take to myself to this day. Sometimes it may be overlooked, but now I'm starting to really listen to myself for the first time. Another advice I would say, definitely don't wait for no production. Don't wait for no big productions. Just make your film. It doesn't matter the budget. Take your time, pre-production, whether it's 5 months, whether it's to a year, whether it's 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you get that project out, edit, and just get it out there in the world to see. That's all that matters. Just take your time with it. Don't rush your project, and never do. It's okay to do 1 or 2 projects a year. Don't do like how most filmmakers do back-to-back projects in 1 year, because it's like you're kind of selling yourself short on each project, because everybody's gonna be looking forward to trying to see where your last project went, and then it's like, oh well, now you're doing this project. So, and then my final advice is, even if you take stuff personal, sometimes it's a business, and it's okay to really put like your friends aside to the side. When I mean that, it's basically saying, friend or no friend, this is a business at the end of the day. You know, we can't take it personal whether somebody do you wrong or whatever. It's a business at the end of the day. If they mess up with you, that's their fault. It's not more. It's not about the money. It's not about the fame. It's about the production as a whole. And if anybody can't see that, then they shouldn't even be a part of your production.
Yeah, very good advice there. So let people know where they can check you out. Your Facebook, Instagram, shout that out now, and I'll also post it in the description below.
So for Facebook, you can find me at SHARRIE MCCAIN. That's SHARRIE, and then McCain, like John McCain. No relations. But I also have an actress page too,
Okay.
where you can follow us. It's the same name. It's just actress SHARRIE McCain. For Facebook, for Twitter and IG, it's really the same. It's really _SHARRIE. So that's really, and then _SHARRIE, like how you spell my name, like SHARRIE. And yeah, that's pretty much about it.
Yeah.
Sarah and I make a production page of my production company, but that's another time where I gotta really sit down and really do that.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Okay. It's I'm following you on all the pages, and everybody else should as well. And I wanted to thank you for being on the show there. I see, and so good luck and everything.
I've been trying to get on. I've been trying to get on with you, so I'm glad that I'm finally on and had a good chat with you.
Yeah, and hopefully here sooner than later, hopefully in 2021, you and I will be working on a project together.
Yes, we're gonna make that happen.
Yes, soon. We are. I'm gonna definitely write, direct, or whatever with you. I just want to see how it works out, because I'm a fan of your work. That's why I have you on the show here. I've watched your projects. I've seen you acting and everything, and I'm just a fan, and that's why I'm glad to have you on my show. So thank you very much for being on here.
No problem. Thank you.